Kilt storage. Jim was saying he doesn't often hear people talking about the method of hanging a kilt on a peg using the two loops which you find installed in traditional kilts. He, as far as he knows, that's how Highland regiments tend to store their kilts when they're in the barracks. I have no data on that, but is there any potential problem with storing a kilt that way, long-term or short-term?
Sure.
I believe he did get some answers to this on the Kilts and Culture Facebook group already, but happy to chime in anyway.
That sounds like a wonderful group, Eric.
It is a wonderful group.
Tell me more.
Well, golly, we have something like over 8,000 members, which has now made us the largest Kilts group on the web.
8,000?
Over 8,000.
8,000, you say?
Yes.
Wow.
And I encourage all of you guys who are sitting back and watching to go ahead and post because, like any group, it's going to be better the more people are lending variety to it. So, get in there and dive in and enjoy. And if you haven't joined yet, sign up. Come on in. The water's fine.
We got one rule. Well, not one. We have 9. But the number one rule in the group, don't be a jerk.
Yep.
That's it.
And it works.
Yes. What was the question again?
A lot of traditional kilts come with those
little loops. Yeah.
Can you actually store a kilt on those? And I want to throw this to Mac, too, if he knows from a historical standpoint, if they ever...
I had Rocky get first, because we did have a customer just recently in the store that was talking about something very similar.
Okay.
So I'll see where Rocky goes with it first.
Go for it. Okay.
In a traditional kilt, a lot of kilts made in Scotland. We don't do it in ours, but a lot of kilts made in Scotland. On the inside, on the far right and far left, basically either side of the pleated section, there's going to be a little cloth loop that will stick out above the top of the kilt. You can use those loops when you hang up the kilt. If you connect it like you're wearing it, you can hang them on a traditional shirt hanger. They have the little notches on the top for women's strap or little strap dresses.
Yeah, women's skirts have loops like that in them too.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of similar to that. The problem is in a kilt, they're a lot heavier of a garment. And if you hang a kilt from those straps and you hang it for an extended period of time, you're going to end up with what's called pleat splay, S-P-L-A-Y, where the pleats just kind of, instead of hanging straight down, there's no support up at the top when you're hanging them on the loops. So they kind of, the top of the kilt kind of sags, and then the pleats kind of do this. They spread out at the bottom, and then they end up kind of sitting in your closet like that for an extended period of time. And if you only wear your kilt once every year, once every couple years, you're going to end up having a slightly deformed kilt, or the pleats will hang a little odd across the back. It won't come from the widest part of your rear end and hang straight down. They'll kind of hang a little cattywampum.
Yeah.
The kilt hangers, or the way that we suggest people hang a kilt if you want to hang it, is what we actually sell are kilt hangers, which have 4 clips across the top. That way, the kilt is supported the entire way across the top. Therefore, you're less likely to have it sag and have the pleat splay issue. Mr. Mack, did you want to add to that?
What I was going to say is we had a customer come in the store. He has one of our hangers with the four grippies on it. He had an 8-yard Premier kilt. So with the weight of the kilt and traveling, it fell off the hanger.
Oh.
So what he was considering was trying to figure out if there's a way that he could use those loops to go over the hanger as he's putting the hanger on it to be able to support it there as kind of a backup.
Okay.
I mean, that's really the only time that I would see anything like that as far as traveling goes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen some images. Again, I'm really speaking from military War I, War II period. Some images of them on a hanger like that, but a lot of times they're just kind of folded and laid flat.
Yeah. Did they fold or roll?
I've seen laid flat for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah. The luckily, slipping off the hanger isn't something that we experience a lot of.
Yeah.
If it's a very, very heavy kilt or a very big guy, or the fabric is, if it's been dry cleaned a lot and kind of loses any, grippiness, and it's like kind of gets slippery over the 10th or 20th time dry cleaning, then I could see maybe. In that instance, generally I tell guys use 2 of the hangers, so that you're actually supporting the weight on the back.
Which is what we suggested for him to do then.
Yeah. I agree.
The only time that I suggest using those two little cloth loops on the inside of the kilt is if you're in a public restroom and you have to go number 2 and you want to take the kilt off and hang it on the hook on the back of the door. That way you're not getting your kilt on the back of the toilet or in any kind of mess that's in the public restroom.
The one other use I've put them to was once in a while I have used those loops to hang up a kilt on a hanger or a bar even in a hotel room while I was drying it. Like if it was sweaty, damp because of me being out of the festival or dancing at a wedding reception or something, and I just wanted to air dry. It's kind of like, I can hang this right over the air conditioner, and let air dry. But that's like a very temporary tool. I certainly wouldn't do that at home.
Now, that being said, I will say, A, if you're going to do it, only do it temporary.
Yeah.
B, but that is a potentially worse time to do it
because it's wet. Yeah.
It's wet,
yeah.
And it's warm and it's wet. So now it's sagging. You're increasing the likelihood in a short period of time.
I probably shouldn't do that, should I?
No, when I go out, and end up at a wedding or whatever, and you're sweaty at the end of the night, I'll just lay it on the back of a chair, open.
Yeah, and I've done that.
I
think that's I've done that too.
It's you have the advantage in hanging it of getting the air to both sides versus laying it, on the back of a chair flat.
I'm talking like a half an hour. Hang up, but yeah. But that's why we don't include them in kilts that we make. It was just I think they're a survival of when people were buying a kilt and getting it for special occasions only, the way you do in Scotland a lot of the time. They are kind of everybody's assuming you're going to hang it on a skirt hanger the way women hang skirts on skirt hangers. So they provide the loops because that's what you do. Yeah. But it's kind of outmoded with modern spring clip technology.
Yeah.
Or just lay it flat or roll it.
Yeah, so, I agree with that.
Yeah.